YouTube is officially 20 years old. This platform celebrated its birthday back in April, with millions of people around the world resharing the very first video uploaded here. And 2 decades later, I finally learned something important from me at the zoo.
Alright, so here we are, one of the elephants. Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
3 things. Number 1, the Gen X and millennial urge to pause after hitting the record button because technology from the 90s and early 2000s made us like that. Number 2, the first word out of Jawed's mouth was alright. That's alright. And 3, mad horny, which makes sense. YouTube was created because 3 men in their 20s wanted to see Janet Jackson's boob. 1 year after Miss Jackson's wardrobe malfunction during Super Bowl 38, Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and the aforementioned Jawed Kareem found it difficult to find and watch videos online of Nipplegate. Kareem said that he proposed to Hurley and Chen that they create a video sharing site. Quote, "I thought it was a good idea," he said. I mean, yeah, from there, it's history. That zoo video has over 350 million views as of this recording, and Jawed has more than 5 million subscribers. YouTube is the most watched streaming option and might be taking over TV. With this taking place in a country where people can be famous for being famous and known for their well-knownness. The most obvious example of this phenomena, of course, got fame and fortune from using her assets. And I can barely get someone to smash that like button, share my video, and subscribe to all of this.
This is what you wanted, right?
Y'all don't like my body of work? Am I not titulating? I stay abreast of trends. I recognize that my audience is mostly male, yet to the women who are behind me, realize that I say what I mean and I mean what I say. And the onus isn't on you, no. I will back it up. With that said, this is hard. YouTubing is difficult. Nobody said it would be easy, and I was gonna say that being a YouTuber is difficult, but I don't do this full time, and I'm not sure of what qualifies. My credentials may be lacking. And ever since the Young Turks became the first YouTube partner, a diverse array of people with a variety of ideas have created content. My niche is political commentary, hosted by a know-it-all who prefers to be called a smart aleck that is satire-coded, with references that only 11 other black dudes would get and should include a few more jokes instead of extra details about a study, stats, facts, and figures. But that's essentially what you get from Nick Nuance.
This is what you wanted, right?
Right? It used to feature my cat, but she doesn't come to the basement. And before I continue, I didn't set out to earn a certain amount of subscribers, and I'm most content when my recent episodes' views equal the amount of subscribers I have at that moment. Weird? Yeah. I just know that I'm not getting them consistently, and I have no idea why. So I went running for answers. I decided to use this tool in the YouTube Studio app that shows what other channels my audience watches, just to see if my competition, targets, marks, peers, my peers, had been struggling too. However, I got distracted by the fact that none of these other creators are like me, and congrats to them for that. Ain't nobody like me. If there's anyone that I'm most similar to, it would be Garrison Hayes. Complementary subject matter. He's great with graphics, effects, transitions, and animations. I'm more of a deep dives kind of guy. Whatever. His YouTube channel is killing it, and he's also putting in work over on Mother Jones, which leads me to why I got started in the first place. I simply wanted to make videos that I would want to watch, teach my kids a thing or three, even though I'm nowhere near my boys' favorite content creator, damn Ryan Trahan. And have I done that? Yes. Does that make me successful? No. Yet, I recently changed what I deem to be success, and I'll show it to you towards the end of this video. Another thing that I wanted to do when this channel began was to use it as a springboard for some broadcast media job somewhere else. And to my subscribers and regular viewers that have been following me the last few years, I hope a select few of you heard that and said, "Nick, you already did that."
I just can't be a part of TYT anymore. It's just too much. It's ridiculous. Because at a certain point, it becomes embarrassing for me.
Turns out I was nothing more than spaghetti being thrown against the wall. Just another contractor they could squeeze for content and toss away when something shinier showed up.
A resignation letter was submitted and signed by several of the YouTube mods for the Young Turks.
Past couple years, I've been taking paychecks from TYT. At this moment, I feel disgusted by that, dog.
I know. I already did that. I was a freelancer at TYT, didn't work out, should encourage me to stay independent. It does. And if there's anything that I learned from my time at Rebel HQ, it's that people will be more likely to click on a video if the thumbnail elicits some kind of emotional response, especially rage and anger. And the title makes one curious without revealing too much of what the content is about. Drama creates clicks, which must be why my video about TYT is by far my largest, and that irks me to no end. Congrats to them for passing 1 million subscribers though. Man, the two people I made that video about then can see my underratedness. So clearly, I'm doing some numbers, sure. However, my concern about my views are actually due in part to my audience. My viewers wonder why I don't have more views. They've been saying that me and my channel are underrated for a while now, which is a compliment. Yes, I could be a Joey Galloway, Michael Redd, a Jimmy Jackson. I can have a cult following like Big Trouble in Little China or the PJs.
Don't worry, Muriel. Darnell always comes through in the clutch.
This is what you wanted, right?
Can I be the best channel that nobody's watching? Is there an award for this? That's not nothing. It shows me that my content isn't what's doing me in. It's marketing myself and selling the brand. Tags, title, thumbnails, and even topics. One of the best compliments that I've gotten as a content creator was when my wife posted me on her Instagram stories and a friend of hers noticed me. He said, "The quality, it's like the Black last week tonight." And my wife told him that's basically my exact goals, which couldn't be more true. I patterned my game after last week tonight and the Patriot Act to some degree. I'm also influenced by some more news. And speaking of, I could have sworn that Cody Johnson was like an adjunct professor of mine at OSU in 2008. As for my dream job,
I walk out the door, but then I hear a voice behind me. "Hey man, where are you going?" And it's John. I was like, "Oh, I live in LA. I gotta go back to LA. Oh, well, I'll see you Monday, right?" I was like, "Why?" "Well, you work here. So I'll see you Monday, right?"
Jesus, I see what you've done for other people and I wanted that for me. And I realized that I usually use this meme in a mean-spirited, messy, dastardly way, which might be why I'm in this current predicament. You know, I wanted to be a correspondent on The Daily Show, but when I really get to thinking about it, why though? Well, TDS is the pinnacle of what I do. I don't know if there's a better show you could put on your resume right now. It's a legacy brand that has launched the careers of comics and actors alike. Although recently I saw this promo and as a fan of the show, I wondered where Josh Johnson was. Maybe he's a contributor and not a correspondent/host. No matter. He's a stand-up comedian and his growth on this very platform as we speak is inspiring. It wasn't always like this. Therein lies the issue. When Trevor Noah stepped down as the host of The Daily Show a few years ago, it left a void behind the desk that could have been filled with the hiring of Hassan Minhaj, but he got himself into some stuff, whether warranted or not, and Roy Wood Jr., disillusioned with the process of not becoming or TDS not getting a permanent host, left the world's fakest news team, started his own thing, which is the American version of a British show. Tangent time. He brought on Amber Ruppin, who used to host her own show, didn't work out for one reason or another. I'm going on too many tangents. Is that my problem? Got to keep them coming so AI won't learn how to copy me. Anyways, they're on CNN, the network that fired Don Lemon and competes with MSNBC, which fired Joy Reid and Tiffany Cross. Some of those people I just named ended up back here where I am on this platform. And we'll see what comes of late night shows in general and The Daily Show in particular the next 5 to 10 years. Changes are gonna come. Look, I've relied so much on brothers and sisters on these programs to provide their insight and wisdom in an accessible way. Yeah, even someone who has a channel named This Way needs to know if they're going to be okay.
What would you say your biggest challenge has been getting you to where you are currently?
Hope. People don't talk about how hard hope is. To live in that place where you're like, it's gonna happen tomorrow, it's gonna happen tomorrow, it's gonna happen tomorrow, is a very hard place for people because sometimes it lets you go, I quit.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not insinuating that the fragile creator economy is only a problem for Black and brown people. Francesca Fiorentini was banned by TYT after serving there as a freelancer for years. Michael Burns was laid off by Wisecrack, and the parent company that owned the channel withheld the severance that he deserved. Some more news. It used to be called Some News when it was a part of Crack.com. It became a legally distinct version of the series when it was forced to do so.
Because there is no online company that's too big to fall apart overnight due to some random asshole's decision. I should know. I was there. This pivot to video, the impetus for which was Facebook's self-admittedly inflated numbers about video, caused layoffs across these websites, including one that seems very familiar.
This applies to sports, journalism, and other content. You know, the first thing I ever really wanted to do for a living was be on the radio. Now, when I tell y'all that I couldn't see myself as a disc jockey, either at a hip hop station, and rap and R&B has my heart, but I talk like this. What I look like in the studio? It's your boy Wiggins holding it down. You already know what it is. Ugh. Or top 40 stations. Gross. Sports radio would have been dope, but hot takes aren't my thing. Fair and balanced is. And that leaves publicly funded radio. Don't think so. Plus, they could be losing funding soon. Coming out of high school, I went to a technical/trade school for broadcasting, completed that, then got in the business as an intern at Sunny 95 here in Columbus. Didn't like it. I spent time at Columbus State Community College. They saved my life. I reinvented myself there, transferred to The Ohio State University, won classroom debates, did a bunch of public speaking classes, earned a degree in communications and journalism, and decided to work with kids and students. Speaking is what I always did best, even when I was an athlete and now as a school administrator. There's absolutely nothing wrong with my day job, but I have so much more to give here in this space. I owe it to Baby Be All Right. I mean, look at this little bastard right here. That's me from college. So I'm going to stick it out with the format that I know and love. Black, nerdy dude sits behind a desk and complains about the world outside his window. And the desk and that window and this microphone and camera are in the Columbus area, my home, my favorite place on earth, where my kids will finish high school. And compared to every other mid to major sized cities in America, has the worst and least amount of broadcast media gigs. I feel like if I moved to Atlanta or Washington, D.C., I wouldn't be going through all this. Admittedly, I suck at networking. Although Columbus's favorite son has found and redefined success here, so.
For me, I never felt the need to leave home. I think this book is also trying to realign a consideration of what making it is. And ascension not necessarily is something that sends you upward, but anything that moves you from the place you were to the place you're going.
Yeah.
And sometimes that place geographically is the same, but is emotionally different, is mentally different, all of these things. And for me, if you have a place you love and a place where you can do your work and a place where your name will be cemented for years after you're gone for anything you have done, you've made it.
Hanif Abdurraqib with his book, There's Always This Year. A lot of clips from and about The Daily Show today. Reminding me, us, we, to give ourselves chances. It's going to happen tomorrow or because of the next video, which, as I explained earlier, gets exhausting. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to hang it up every so often. But quitting is a bigger letdown than underachieving would ever be. Occasionally, I'll question if it's all worth it. The details, the nuance, citing sources, placing headlines and quotations in this corner while describing stuff. Not giving my work a title like GOP politician does this, instantly regrets it. Knowing full well that MAGA don't regret nothing. Also, I haven't FA'd. Why am I FOing? I mean, writing a script, finding and curating supporting video clips, recording and editing over the course of days, weeks, months. Behind the scenes look, saving all kinds of stuff to my phone as I go along over time. And I can attract my own returning viewers. Wait. I get more clicks when I go in on black politicians and pundits instead of white ones. What is that about? I'm asking y'all and YouTube. I've been driving myself crazy. I'm reluctant to switch my avatar/profile picture, add with Jeff Wiggins to the end of the name of my channel so folks can know who I am. Talk about music, sports, or movies and TV shows because I don't think my audience cares. Yo, Shania Twain could have shown her boobs the Super Bowl prior to when Janet Jackson's were exposed. Seems like something we could or should discuss. Subscribers and regular viewers, I hope you noticed that I didn't begin this episode by saying, all right, kids. Analytics shows me that there's a decent drop off for my content in the first 30 seconds of the video. Is that why? People have assumed that I'm referring to them as kids when I'm actually literally talking to my own kids. A lack of patience, a whack perspective, and a limited point of view on my part aren't helping. And I know comparison is the thief of joy, but disconnection is the giver of anxiety. So if you're a fellow YouTuber or if you're YouTubing and you feel like I feel, don't be discouraged. Welcome. You're now in the crosshairs. I'm joking. The first video I made that gained over 1,000 views was this one about AAVE. It proved to me that thumbnails matter. I don't even remember what the original one was, but there was a definite difference before and after I switched it. And sometimes a 2-panel thumbnail with me in the middle will do. The one that got me my first 10,000 and 50,000 view video and earned me more than 600 subscribers alone when I had less than that total before it was uploaded was this one about black TikTokers not creating dances for a Megan Thee Stallion song. Also, it put me over the 1,000 subscriber and 4,000 watch hour marks so I can be monetized. See, you can post a video about Thomas Sowell and have it not do so well, then, out of nowhere, gain viewership for reasons unbeknownst to you, other than the fact that dunking on black conservatives is lucrative, which is problematic in and of itself. Same with this Drake is corny video. Pop quiz. When do you think his beef with Kendrick started? 7 months after I uploaded it. Or FD Signifier and Olay can share your videos with their communities. Truly thankful for that. You just never know. So post it, upload it, put it out there. Your people are waiting on you. Until then, I will continue to believe that if I know something, then you know it. I want us to be curious and inquisitive. I want to reach the other black dudes who read a lot. I will see you where politics and culture meet, when history and current affairs intersect, to convince you that we gonna be all right.